I have a theory, and this interaction kind of adds evidence to my theory, right? Um, there is a photo. Obviously, the two of them were on breakfast every other morning, doing their little bromance back and forth. Kieran doing jabs, but it was very jovial, even though they both didn't. It was very friendly and jovial, which is quite different to what you get when you see Chloe and Brooke Van Velden or Chloe and David Seymour. And I feel so bad for her having to sit in a room with either of those two. It's quite a different vibe. And I have seen photos of Kieran and the Bish. It's a wee while ago, being co-leaders, can you believe, of the Parliament cricket team. So there's obviously like a relationship there that's kind of a bit of a rivalry. That kind of makes sense. There's a lot of, Chris Bishop does give the vibe that he wants to have like that bipartisanship, even though I think his party is kind of, I don't know, got its own mind. And Kieran also has that idea of like he's able to work with the other side and like he's reasonable and things like that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there was a transport and infrastructure committee question and answer time where Kieran's on the opposition side asking the questions, and Chris Bishop is the transport and infrastructure minister, I believe, is giving answers. But unlike what we saw with giving answers. Unlike what we saw with Chloe and who was asking the questions that day?
Ryan?
Against Ryan?
Ryan? Was it the...
No, in the committee. That's...
Oh, okay, different one. Too many fucking
Chloe. Yeah. Anyway, there was Chloe and the finance minister... Nikki Noboats. Sorry, I actually can't remember her name.
Nicola Willis.
Nicola Willis, thank you. Yep.
I love that. That's great. That's great.
It's just what came first. Yeah, it's quite different to that interaction, and I'll just sort of play a bit of that here. And generally, what comes out of it is that they both agree there needs to be some kind of bipartisanship with the 30-year infrastructure plan, which makes total sense. Like the sector needs some reassurance that there's not going to be the stop and start. Things like big projects like the ferries aren't going to get cancelled, and they can be sure that there is budget that will be funded through not just this government, but the next government and the next government, and however many terms. Long-term planning, exactly. And we as a nation also want that. So that was the general consensus after it. But I found the back and forth quite interesting because Kieran is very respectful, and there's also a talk about sort of this political jabs and sort of unnecessarily making it political when it comes to stuff. And yeah, I want to show you the interaction because I feel like this adds evidence to my bromance theory, right? But I think it also shows, as much as people might hate this, but some of the qualities about Chris Bishop that I can see why people like him and sort of have some respect for him. And I can see why someone like Kieran, who's pretty straight shooting, he'll say what he thinks, can have that kind of bipartisan relationship, even though he even states himself, like, this government doesn't really want bipartisanship. It just wants the other side to agree with whatever they decide. But,
which is pretty good point.